And yes. So I think I've been doing this for some time, and over the past several decades, couple of decades, I've been helping the customers to go through that, and we have done some case studies and models to kind of make this successful for our customers to engage in the journey. And I think thanks for your participation in the presentation. Your evaluation is highly valued. We would like to know so that we can improve and better deliver the content in the future. And small goodies appear from the marketing team. And again, we are Dataville, and we've been doing this transformations, migrations, or optimizations, and maximizing your IT infrastructure versus business solutions for over like a couple of decades. And we have a deep expertise in engaging and managing to help you guys through your challenges, whether it's a business or whether it's IT or whether it's data or whether it is related to your managed services portion of it. So we are a one-stop shop to get you there. Again, I just want to touch upon before you go there that hospitality industry is one of that industry where we have a lot going on in the market. And I think technology evolution is one of those big things for them. So one of our customers engaged with us to talk about, how do we improve and maximize our stuff, because their infrastructure is in an ICU or in the end state of depletion, and the challenges are going through that scenario. And again, these are some of the trends from the Gartner and other sources about how the hospitality industry is shaping up, and especially from a technologist and from a executive standpoint, what the strategy should be. Again, when we look at an enterprise, whether it's an on-prem or a cloud, we from an executive vision standpoint is we need an integrated technology framework so that we can leverage the abilities of collaboration across all departmental, so we can take silos or informational deficiency and still within the compliance and regulations. Again, we just have to plan for the journey, and eventually any small engagement has to start with a plan, a strategy, and eventually strategy is not the plan, and then we need to plan it out and go through the destination part. Again, when we had this engagement, we had actually sat down with the top down, from all the way from the board to the decision makers to the executives, managers, and the people whose life's going to touch. Because it's not like just take the box from an on-prem and just put it in OCI or any other place, but it's basically have to go thoroughness to know where we are as an organization we've been operating for. That was the question we had, and we had a very good strategic planning session to start from a vision, then we come up with a plan, and then we come up with any opportunities, and then we assess into multiple road stops in the journey. And again, being do that, we used our methodology. We have over 100 years of leadership expertise, and we have in with us, and we have come up with a model how give you that industry knowledge and kinds of stuff to go through agnostically as technology, where we meet the business, the data, and technology, how we blend together to come up with a potential savings from technologies, and also a peace of mind and sustainability for the leadership. And again, like any other engagement or journeys, everything comes with the challenges eventually. Until you put it on a paper, you would not know how big of a challenge it is. Otherwise, it's verbalized, but we just have to have some kind of a value indicators or success factors. And this customer did not have less of them, but they have a handful of them, and they were sustaining it with manual processes. But their challenge initially was technology stack, and before they even talked about the other aspects of it. And again, there's some more constraints. They have some security and kinds of stuff because they're hospitality, which means things move so fast, and a lot of variety and variability and velocity of data comes through. We have to drink from a fire hose. Movement goes on from there. And again, by having this all challenges, we're blending in with our expertise. We came with 3 options. The option 1 was basically just take the workload migration to the cloud, And then eventually, which means there's nothing else, only the infrastructure will be savings, and eventually there won't be any incremental functionality or business aspects of it. Then we had, and the second aspect of it was when we land in the cloud, and we also start thinking about modernizing business processes and aligning with best practices. This is the option two we came with it from our blend. And then basically question also came down to is why go in just an infrastructure? Why not we do take a leap of faith and jump directly to the cloud ERP, because they have PeopleSoft and they have JD Edwards and they have Hyperion. They're all aged on-prem application. This was also put on the table for consensus. And based on that whole due diligence, we just came up saying what's best for the organization based upon the blend from the next 5-10 years. We're looking at that, and we came up with a recommendation saying that, hey, just for now, the temporary stopgap as a phase one is to get yourself infrastructure sustainability so that your operations could be stabilized temporarily, and also gain some investment out of it and take that investment and reapply back in making it modern enterprise kind of stuff. That's where the land and expand was. And eventually we had come up with a plotted journey. It came up with a journey, because if you see, they have a lot of if you look at them, they have 3 legacy on-prem applications. They work what they got out there, but they also first stabilize going into the cloud as a phase one to give them that peace of mind, so that they can invest some resources and time to go to the native aspects of it and do any enhancements if required, which are quick and easy, so that can gain immediate efficiency, but with having a cloud in the distance as a final ecosystem plan, so that they can actually stabilize business processes, align with best practices, and also come up with something which is sustainable and service providing aspects of it. There's a phase one of it. We just finished them out so that they can start gaining, and they're investing into the phase two. And the second phase was basically, since we had early stages made, not just give me this versus how you're going to be looking at down the line and looking at the big picture. And we started working with them, taking their PeopleSoft application, which is the HCM portion of it, and moving to cloud while focusing on financial side of the story of JD Edwards, and then actually moving them. But by March, April 2024, we will have both the applications will be in a semi-retirement mode or a data query only mode because of the compliance reasons. But customer successfully took the journey. And one other thing we interestingly did was when we opened the migration path of moving Hyperion to the cloud, we realized saying that it's not worth it. Then there was a mini pivot happen in our journey, and worked with the customer to move the Hyperion directly to cloud. Why go a step when you can skip the step? Again, these are some of the challenges by including the leadership, the executives, and being in the thought process. We were improvising and basically realigning and doing the right pivot so that we don't reinvest and stay with the bad practices, go through that. Again, this is the journey we did with them. And again, what are the lessons learned? Lessons learned has been, like every other place, we have customers say, we have everything. Maybe that's not current, but they have some kind of a documentation, some kind of institutional knowledge and stuff. But when we put them to the rigor, eventually we realize that there is some deficit, not up to current, and eventually we just have to give them the additional assistance and hand to make sure it's not saying that this is what you're going to do, but having them, we have to empathize and basically not sympathize with them, empathize with them, and providing them the right guidance to take them to the next level. And eventually that's a huge challenge, because these days a lot of businesses especially know what they want. If you ask them to define, they will have a challenge defining. So we have to sit down and empathize with them and document and have a consensus, include them in every step, rather than saying that this is it, what you said is what you get, but versus what you said is what is. There is also options to detour some challenges and go from there. And And a second aspect of it, and when we making to the cloud journey, we always advise customers to be straight out of the box, but we all know this platform is not built for a specific use case, but it's built for a bigger cause of standardizing best practices across industries. But I think I would say that 80 to 90% of them could be starting from nowhere, from a standard practices, because they did not have best practices followed in the past. That's the other risk and de-risking that leadership done, and eventually we go through that, and also including them early stages of it, getting them empowered and trained, and eventually de-risk our, the go live mitigation and stuff, because it's a constant platform is evolving. It's not like PeopleSoft or JD Edwards where you have a periodic update where it's a huge event. But here it's every quarter and every term we have to go through the compliance aspects of it. And again, there are some expectations from the customers. Basically, typical expectations was that have them follow through from the top and have the constant support, and being in an aligned over communicate than under communicate, and have customer voice as a customer in every part of the decision makes us adoption much more clear for us. And eventually, again, some of the considerations are like these are the main things for any organization right now as we are scaling. We've been hearing a lot of challenges around security, operational excellence, and also companies are divesting, buying, with the current market, and pandemic followed before. There's a lot more happening in the market, and if we don't watch out, you will end up basically spending 2x or 3x overspend. So we have to be watch a value versus spend kind of an analytics has to be done. And that's how we have gone through some considerations. We always reach our coach and basically follow through to make sure they get the point. It's not like we have to be patient, we have to be persistent, and also we have to be, conserve all the energies of the customer, not to create a negative impression, but a positive forward looking. And eventually, and again, this is basically what we have gone through in a nutshell. And I think any questions, further questions, I'm open for taking the comments. Carlos?
Yeah, if you have any questions, you can type those in the Q&A, or you can raise your hand. Okay, it seems as if no one has any questions right now. If there's anything else that you would like to say?
Yes, I think I would say in the journey, what we have basically is that the rigor, the due diligence, and the inclusion are the three big things about making a journey like this, that makes life simple, not easy, not simple. I would not call simple these days. It's like amplifying anything when you choice of words are, but also do not hesitate to look back what could have done better. And after going through that 5 or 6 iterations or many iterations like this, we have refined it to a point saying that we just need to be asking the question is, and we just have to align with our strategy and make sure we don't go over budget. And we have to plan, and don't over plan to make this more challenges, but include and also negotiate. I would say that saying what could be your value, and don't assume, validate as we go through it, because we are going into a different era of service providing, and we need more than just a few sentences of verbal validation versus see to believe it and monitoring to rephrase and work through a service levels internally, externally, and also making sure you are getting the value for the money you have started the journey and sustain and optimize. I think I would leave it there. But again, thank you very much for all your time. And if you can leave us, if you can leave us your comments or suggestions, will help us to have a better presentations in the future, optimize them. And we also have a video coming up that the team has put together some small videos with the rapper based on the survey. Thank you all, and have a great rest of the time, rest of the conference.
Thank you.